Yes, Paul, question?
Okay, hello. Hello.
Yes, Paul.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
go ahead.
So, thank you so much. I think it's good. It's good to know that Jose have all of this for us. So, how long will it take to get the loan delivered? Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Paul, for the question. We try to do it as fast as possible. Typically, we would say 1 to 2 business days. But that also depends a little bit on, the quality of the documents that you supplied. If there's any back and forth, then it might take a little bit longer than that. But we try to keep it to less than 2 business days. I see a question in the chat. For a new company just starting out without 3 months bank statements, can they be approved for a loan? It's a very good question. We assess the ability for you to repay your loan based on your historical data, right? So based on your bank statements and the details that you filled out in your loan application, right? So I would say you can apply if you have 1 month bank statement or 2 months bank statement. But the other thing that's really important here is we wouldn't want to give you a loan that you don't have the ability to pay back, right? So I think just keep that in mind, and you can apply and see. But usually we want you to be in business for a little while before we can before we're confident that you'll be able to repay the loan, if that makes sense. Yes, there's another hand raised. Can't see who it is.
Amira.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, please go ahead.
Me.
Good afternoon, Amira.
Can I go on?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Jade. I had a bit of I had a challenge with my network, so I didn't hear what POSE is about and where they are, where they're operating from, and to know how, to be able to relate. I'd also like to know, how do we get the documents for this, to be able to read further and make decision based on informed decision about taking these facilities. Thank you.
Yes, very good. We'll share a document with Queza, who can then share it with you guys, that has all the details that we're discussing today, so that you can, sit down and, like you said, make an informed decision. Oze is a technology company. We are in 11 African countries. We started in Ghana and expanded to Nigeria and have continued to expand from there. You might hear my accent and realize that I'm not Ghanaian or Nigerian. I'm American, but yeah. I've worked and lived on the continent for the last 12 plus years. And so Oze was designed specifically to help small businesses grow. And we started with our business management app, and then realized that one of the biggest things that small business owners need is access to working capital and to loans in order to be able to grow. And so we've set up all of our products and services since then, in order to be able to make sure that as many small businesses on the continent can get access to the facilities they need to grow when they need them, and through partners like Queza. So that's a summary of what I mentioned earlier as well.
And as a follow-up on the other question, before I raise my hand,
go ahead.
The 3 months thing, or the 2 months or 1 month idea. What if you have you have an account, you know how it is, or how it has been, although that's coming to an end in January. You have an account, you have like a personal account you've been running for years and is in good standing. Can you use that, or it has to be the company one?
No, you can submit your personal statement as well. I don't know, Udochi, do you want to comment on that as well?
Yeah, we can work with your personal statement, but we just expect that you will have been in business for a while, right? We understand all of those terrain, but we expect that at least you have a business account that has statements. Then you can also merge it with your personal account to work with it.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Do you have any further follow-up questions from anybody? Okay, not just the vendors, but even with the team. If you have any follow-up questions for Dave, we are hoping that this session, the information we get from this session is evergreen. We're able to hold on to it for as long as the partnership exists. And so your vendors you've been assigned to as a relationship manager, some of them are not here, and ideally they'll reach out to you after this session to ask follow-up questions. So you need to ask as much as you can. Okay, so we have a question from Afame Funa asking, please, what is the interest like? And Paul is asking if it's a website or an app.
Yes. What I shared in the sorry, John, let me take the second one first. What I shared in the chat there is our website. We do also have a business management app that you guys are all welcome to download and use. But because you're a Quasar customer, we don't require you to go through that channel. It is a very helpful tool, so I would encourage you guys to take a look at it. But as you're a Quasar customer, you can apply directly through the link that Quasar will provide to you. If you're using the app, you need to be using it for some time before you can apply for a loan through that channel. The other question was around the interest. So it depends on what type of financing that you're applying for. For our normal working capital loans, we start at 5% monthly interest flat. That can be reduced upon your second loan or your third loan, depending on how the first one goes. For purchase order financing, it's a little bit different. It's based on the purchase order that you can supply as part of the loan application. For that one, typically we can go down to 4%, 4% monthly interest rate. But again, it depends on the time period and your credit scoring, or your credit assessment. And yeah, just one other note on the interest rate. I mean, we do also partner with commercial banks, the likes of EcoBank, First Bank, Access Bank, and others. And so we plan to over time be able to bring those interest rates down for you guys, but we need to get started and do what we can to help, and then we continue to try to bring the interest rates down. How much do you start with for those of us in Nigeria? I think it's Paul, is the question what's the minimum amount of loan that you can take? Maybe we'll just answer it that way. Udochi, what's the minimum we're doing right now in Nigeria?
It's 500K.
500K, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So 500K, typically as a starting point, we go up to 8 million, but we can, for Quasar vendors, we can go higher than that on a case-by-case basis. And of course, if you have a purchase order that is a higher value than that, then we can go up to 70% of the purchase order. Maximum, typically we don't do above 20 million, 20 million naira. Yeah, listen, we partner with lots of financial institutions. So even if a financial partner that we aren't live with, if one of the financial partners that we're live with now can't do it, we can usually find someone that can do a higher amount if it's really needed for the business.
Amir, are you asking what a maximum is? I think Dave just shared about that. The maximum for Nigerian vendors. How about for Ghana, vendors from Ghana?
Yeah, Ghana, the typical maximum 50,000 CDs. But again, we always take things on a case-by-case basis. Margaret is asking about collateral. Our working capital loans are typically no collateral required. For purchase order financing, it's case-by-case basis. But sometimes the products themselves will become collateral, but we wouldn't do any kind of like landed property or that kind of collateral. We really try to, collateral is one of the toughest things to provide, and so we really try to avoid bringing collateral into the situation. Val, do you want me to drop the loan application links into the chat for everyone, or you guys will send them later?
Yes, sure you can. However, we would follow up by sending it privately to each vendor.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
So patience, Salifu is asking, available loan duration for working capital.
Yeah, for working capital, for the first loan that you do with us, typically up to 6 months. For second loans, we can go up to 12 months.
Great. So Dave has shared the links. Depending on the country you're applying from, you could either use the Ghana or Nigerian link. However, we would send these links to you as vendors privately after the session. In our weekly newsletter emails, you should have them. And also on your vendor dashboard, you should have them to there as an announcement. So you could keep it there, always refer to the link anytime you want, you need to use it. So we have a few minutes to end the session, and we are still taking questions and inquiries regarding this, because you ultimately are the vendors that will be taking the loan or, seeking that assistance. And we will also try as much as possible to, like as Dave mentioned, grant or confirm your eligibility once, we are checked in with. Like he mentioned, there are a lot of provisions that are made because you are Quasar vendors. And so ideally, there are instances where if you were to use the normal way of getting the loan, you will not be eligible for some of the, deeper arrangements that have been made. And so feel free to ask as much as you can under this partnership. This partnership was entered to with you in mind. And so we will try to see how we can make it work. So if you have any questions, please do reach out here. Your RMs are also in this call to get themselves updated or abreast with the partnership as well, so they can offer continuous support. The entire session is recorded, so we'll always have the playback for our vendors that couldn't join. And we are currently also streaming on our YouTube channel to also, as much as possible, share the information about this partnership. I think if there's no, question or suggestion or recommendation, you can also share recommendations as well. With this partnership is a live partnership, so we will make adjustments as and when possible. So if you have any recommendations as well, you can share. If there's no activity, probably in 3-4 minutes, we could end the session. All right. So Dave and the OZ team, thank you very much for being available for this. Should we have any follow-up questions or inquiries from our vendors, we will try as much as possible to share that with you. But just as we've had, meetings, we've met extensively before rolling this out. So I believe that a lot of the inquiries we should be able to resolve and respond to them in-house. However, if there's a need to share a couple with you, we would do so. So thank you for your time, Dave. And
Great. Yeah, thanks, Val. Yeah, we're always available to answer questions. Feel free if there's any uncertainty around the answer to any of the questions around loan parameters or what's available. Happy to answer them. Thanks everyone. Thanks all the vendors on the call. I hope you take advantage of the opportunity. We know that cash flow and access to capital can be a big barrier to growth, and so we want to try to solve that problem for you, and look forward to working with you. Thanks.
Thank you. Any final words from the Quasar team? Anything we'd like to add ourselves when we can end the session? All right, thank you all, and have a great, day ahead and restful weekend. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.